Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing the brand new release WiiM Amp Pro. This 60 watt by 2 integrated amplifier is absolutely stunning for its price. Streaming on board, all of those things that we've grown to love with the WiiM and WiiM app that is so robust. Look, it'll cover off Spotify and Tidal and Deezer and iHeartRadio and all of those types of things. It's brilliantly built, it's brilliantly supported, and it's well loved for all of the right reasons. Nevertheless, looking at the product, we see it packaged in a full colour box with the WiiM Amp Pro clearly visible. It's a basic design as far as how modest the finish is of the product itself, and we've got the WiiM logo and the high-res audio logo as well. On one end we've got the WiiM logo again on both sides and basic information and some compliances. On this end we see some of the feature set that the unit has. Obviously the app can be downloaded from both the Google Play Store and the App Store. It's kind of important, certainly from a software update and user-friendliness perspective, and if you're ever going to use this in a multi-room environment, you have to run the WiiM app. Spotify logos, iHeartRadio, all of those kinds of things. You name it, it's covered off with this brilliant product. Now, on the back, basic information associated with the accessories that are on board, scannable information for the product, and compliances associated with Dolby. It's got decoding for Dolby and Dolby Atmos, as well as Chromecast and other things along those lines. By the way, the microphone in the remote control also supports Alexa control. Now, the first impression, this is a weighty little product. This is much, much heavier than its predecessor, the traditional WiiM amp. It implies now that they are delivering the 60 watts that was implied with its junior model, and sonically a superior sound in every way. It's worth mentioning in the lesser load of about 4 ohms, it's still stable to 120 watts a channel. Now opening this, there's a couple of clear plastic circles. Opening those very, very straightforward with a craft knife, and then simply lift the box off the product itself. Now it's a firm fit, as you can see, and away we go. Now the product itself is brilliantly laid out inside its packaging. It's got sort of pressed cardboardy plastic feel to what's holding things in place. Clearly, with the first set of accessories labelled power cord and voice, remote control, we know what we're getting into as far as what we're going to see. In the cardboard box we see a figure 8 New Zealand power cord and the remote control. Now because of some international recycling standards, the remotes are not provided with batteries. Nevertheless, the WiiM remote, which is available as an accessory by the way for the whole range, you might want a couple, has all the standard inputs features that you would expect. On-off, power indication to let you know what's going on, microphone setting, play, stop, pause, volume up and down, input selection, and the 4 presets that are available with the WiiM app. The second accessory box, again HDMI, RCA and optical cables. Guess what's in the box? We see a basic left and right analog RCA cable. We see a basic optical cable, probably to connect your television, and then a basic HDMI. In fact, to be honest, this one's actually a little bit better than just really basic. It's good that they've sort of added there. The bags, by the way, are compostable at home. So it's nice that they're sort of looking at some of the things from an environmental perspective. This implies from its labelling it's a 4K cable, although remember this has no video output. This is about returning the audio information from your television. So it's got an audio return channel built in, and there's a cable free of charge to get it operational. Lifting the unit out is really, really straightforward. Putting it off to one side, we'll just tilt it forward to show you the very last, which is the comprehensive user manual. Now, Don't be intimidated by the number of pages. This is multilingual. There's all sorts of things here. And look, it's colour. So there's photographs of the remote and all of those types of things. Brilliant to flick through, helps you with confidence as far as the LEDs and other things like that for the feedback that it's going to give you during its setup, download and basic operation as well. Okay, right, the product itself, again, much heavier than its predecessor, implying that they've invested in the power supply to deliver to the Texas Instrument amplifier that they have on board. The final little wrap that they have is easy to remove. There's some pull tags and very, very straightforward as far as getting that protective cover off and revealing the product for the first time. Now, like its predecessor, it's this sort of gunmetal grey finish. This is a slightly more elegant approach, and there's a metallic feel that the previous amp does not have. We see a chog control approach to the front with the ability to bring it out of standby at the tap of a button, and then rotating it, of course, changes the volume. We've got the indicator LED to let you know the status of the amplifier, standby on or potentially flashing for setup or Bluetooth. And we see the WiiM Amp Pro logo as well. Screen printed at the top is the WiiM logo. It's not very deep, doesn't need to be. They're running a chipset-based, a very high-end chipset-based amplification module. The ventilation is actually underneath, and you'll see that with elaborate vents in the plastic forming the base. And even the feet, by the way, are well thought out. It grips well the surface that it might sit on. It's at the back that we see a few subtle changes from the lesser model. We see, of course, the HDMI that I've alluded to, and that's the audio return channel. Beneath it we have the figure 8 input, and then a wired network input. Now the unit itself runs the new 3-band Wi-Fi, so 2.4, 5 and 6 gigahertz, and via the LAN connection it's 100 megabits per second, so it covers off everything that you would possibly want. From a wireless or Bluetooth perspective as well, it's also running the latest 5.3 iteration of Bluetooth chipsets, so it will allow for any number of different connections as far as your phone or something portable like your laptop. Unusually, it has an analog input. You see, these kinds of things are utilised in all sorts of environments, and you might have a CD player that needs to be utilised, or a turntable perhaps with a phono preamp that you can plug in via RCA. So it's brilliant that they've kept this feature. Also, as an input, we've got the Toslink optical that they've provided a cable for, and the subwoofer output. This is where some of the feature set really rises this to the top of your selection within its price. It has brilliant management of the external subwoofer, running an internal equalization associated with the frequency and cutoff, roll-off I should say, associated with the speakers that you might connect. It gives a brilliant feature set, immediately taking the pressure off the amplifier and allowing you to run a more dynamic approach to things, with some of the heavy lifting being done by the external subwoofer. Last but not least, we see a 5-way binding post approach. Now, these are compact but not miniature 5-way. You can accept a banana with ease, along with bare wires, spades and all of those types of things. I guess at this end of the market we're probably going to see bare wire and maybe a banana plug connected, and it's brilliant to see that the fit and finish of those hasn't been forgotten. So the device itself, as I said, stable, really stable, 120 watts into 4 ohms, giving you an implication of what's going on. Again, covers off all of the major streaming services. The only thing controversial perhaps is that they no longer support AirPlay. Nevertheless, everything else, including Chromecast, all of those types of things are built in. So there we have it. WiiM's brand new Amp Pro. Excellent, brilliant, sonically stunning. Unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.